Hi everyone. So in the previous tutorial, we discussed about customer segmentation. We also looked at a business problem related to it, and we also discussed the solution approach that we would use to solve that business problem. In this tutorial, we will be discussing the Python implementation of the solution approach. So let's get started. The tutorial is divided into 6 steps that you see here. So let's start with loading the libraries and looking at what data we have. So this is the data as you can see, and this is a very simple transactional retail data set where we have our invoice ID, the stock codes, the dates, the prices, the quantities, and our customer ID. So let's initially clean and pre-process this data set a bit so that we can extract our RFM columns from it. So here I have converted my invoice date to proper date time format. I have calculated a new column called total price, which is quantity multiplied by unit price. I'll be using this total price column to define my monetary feature. And then I have also calculated a days since column, which is nothing but which tells us that how many days it has been since the last shop of that customer. So here it is 373, which means that okay, there has been 373 days since the customer made their last shop. Okay, so let us go and calculate our RFM segments. The first for monetary, I will be calculating. Already have total. I'll be calculating total price for monetary, which tells us that for every customer, what is the total worth of orders they have placed till date. Okay. For my frequency metric, I have total orders, which tells me that what are the total number of orders the customers have placed till date. And finally, coming recency. So here I've calculated recency factor, which is nothing but the max of days since subtracted by the days since of every record. So the reason why I did this is, if you would notice in my total price and total orders metrics, the higher they are, the more better the customer is, the more valuable the customer is to the business. So here also I have calculated recency factor, which basically means the higher the recency factor, the more latest the customer's shop is. The lower the recency factor, which means that the customer placed their shop a very long time ago. So now I have these three things: recency factor, total orders, and total price. But you would notice that the total price is in thousands, the total orders is in tens, and the recency factor is in its hundreds. So I would need to scale these factors down, right? So how do I do that is by using the standard scaling technique. I've written down the formula over here, and then I basically scale down these factors and actually build these columns, which are R, FM, and R, RMF. And I will be using these RFM columns to build my actual clusters. Okay, so here I've basically merged my RFM columns together and then scaled down my total orders, total price, and recency factor to give me these three columns. So now I will actually go ahead and build my k-means cluster. And here I have here I have provided my RFM columns, and here I am mentioning that okay, I need three clusters, because in the original problem statement, if it was mentioned to segment the customers across low value, medium value, high value. So the end result I will get from this whole activity is three clusters which are low value, medium value, and high value. So here I have carried out my clustering activity, and this is what my what in tabular format my clusters are looking like. I have like low, medium, and high flagged as here. So for every customer ID, I have whether it falls in the low value, high value, or medium value. So let us try to visualize this in a 3D space, and we can only visualize this in a 3D space because we have three metrics R, F, and M, and these would be, one would be the X, Y, and Z axis, and then from color we would put the color as cluster names. So so here I've plotted a 3D scatter plot, and using Plotly it's fairly simple to do. And here, as you can see here, that okay, I have mentioned all my customers in this, and the green color represents my high value, the medium value is yellow, and the red is my low value customers. And the X, Y, and Z axis are R, F, M, F, and M, And let's take one example. Let's take for recency. So for recency, it starts from 0 to 1. The 0 means like low recency, so these are low value. M means medium recency, so these are my medium value. And then here between 1 to 0.8, these are highly recent customers, so they have been flagged as my high value customers. So similarly for let's say for frequency also. So frequency, in here you can see these greens which are towards the or more towards the 1 frequency and away from the 0. So here the more frequent the customers are, the high value they will be, right? So that was the Python implementation of the solution approach we had discussed. So thank you everyone for watching.